Let's move to another former Secretary of State, Matt Hancock. He was the Health Secretary, of course. He's been suspended by the Conservative Party after joining the cast of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Matt Hancock will swap representing his constituents at Westminster to eating bugs in the jungle. But Tory party managers have taken a very dim view of the West Suffolk's MP's decision to take part in the reality show while Parliament is sitting. The Tory chief whip said it was serious enough to warrant a suspension. How will Matt Hancock even get on in the jungle? Let's speak with Martin Roberts, TV presenter, appeared on Series 16 of I'm a Celebrity, and of course, a fabulously respected former talk radio presenter too. Martin, good afternoon to you.
Afternoon. You've got to say, this is an inspired bit of casting, don't you think?
It's actually, from forget the politics side, from the TV side, it's brilliant, right?
When whoever it is who phoned his agent and had the balls to do that, when they said, I'll have a word, and he came back and said, yes.
It's a yes.
Falling off their researcher's desk.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. What was it? Just talk us through when you got that call a few years back and asked to appear. How did that feel? Because everybody I know and have met that has done that particular show have always said of all the reality shows, this one is amazing and it's a great experience for lots of different reasons. And when you get the call, you can't quite believe it.
No, I mean, it's almost like a rite of passage. It's the ultimate, I think, reality TV show. It's almost like, how many years has it been going on? 20 years. Yeah. And it's like Anthony Deck were boys when they started doing it. You look back to those first series. It's had every single celebrity of note on there, and it was the first of that thing to throw people into that completely world of the unknown, where you see people you don't expect to be doing things. And from a kid's point of view, to see adults, just like in Tiz was when they used to have buckets of soup poured on their heads, to see adults being made to do just truly outstandingly silly things from a child's point of view, it's just brilliant. So I think from a family point of view, it's a great show. It was the one show that our kids used to be allowed to stay up late to watch. So when I got the call, they were just so blown away. And then they got to go out to Australia. So, it was amazing. I mean, it's a roller coaster ride, and they're very clever at what they do in terms of getting people to an edge very quickly. So at the moment, the celebrities will be in isolation. They'll be locked into a hotel room with a security guard on the outside. They won't know who the other celebs are. They won't know what's going on. They won't be allowed to look at the news. They won't be allowed to have their phone or their laptops. So this is a week of that. So by the time they get into the jungle, you are already in a heightened state of kabibble-wobbledness. And that is how you immediately then, when they start to make you really hungry, they make you do difficult things, a lot of peer pressure. Yeah. You get the worst out of people immediately.
Of course you do. But one of the, not criticisms, but one of the areas that I hear most people talk about as being really tricky is that obviously when you watch the TV programme, Martin, it's full of fun. This is going on. There's a Bush Tucker trial. There's a challenge. They're doing crazy things with bugs or on water slides. But actually most of the day is not that. And it's a lot of hanging around and boredom can set in. Is that reasonable?
Very, very reasonable. And, if you have 2 or 3 days where you don't leave the camp, you do go massively stir crazy. Yeah. And that's why these things bubble under and people get fractures. But also remember, there are 100 cameras filming 24 hours a day. So that's 2,400 hours of material. And they've got to edit that down into effectively 40 minutes by the time you take away, the bit where Ant and Dec do their stuff. So they can just take the best of the best of the best. And, one of my big fears was it's all down to the sort of trustworthiness of the editor.
Of course it is.
Because if they want to have shots of you picking your nose 24 hours a day or making it seem like that, then that's what they're going to do. So you can guarantee they are going to pick the best, most confrontational, most outrageous bits from Matt Hancock and Boy George and the Royals. I mean, what a combination. Oh my gosh, they've got the first ever Royal going in.
It's incredible.
They've got who's cheesing everybody off for making that decision.
Yeah.
You've got Boy George, you've got all the other people who are going in there. I think it's back to Australia, obviously, for the first time after being in Wales for a few years, and he did a fantastic job in Wales. But back to what we're all familiar with.
Yeah.
And so I think they've really pulled out all the stops. Be interesting to know how Hancock's getting paid.
Yes, that will be quite telling, which is obviously, I would imagine, his chief motivator. Bearing in mind, it seems like he might.
It's not his chief motivator. Come on,
you don't think?
Saw how he was sidelined by Rishi Sunak when he did his welcome to. Everybody saw that. Yeah. Rishi absolutely brushed him off when there was all those people cheering him, and you can see him walk. He probably thought at that moment, "Sod this for a bunch of soldiers. Yeah. I'm going to make the most of my celebrity." And at the end of the day, he is an elected MP, and I completely get why people will be very hot under the collar, because that's what he's paid to do, and he's got constituents to represent. But in lots of ways, I can completely understand why he's decided to do it, because he's sort of gone.
Yeah. I get it, but I mean, being caught in a lift, having a crafty snog with one of your staff is one thing. Being caught in the jungle munching on a dingo's anus is quite another, right? I don't know which one is worse.
You know what? You can't hide in the jungle.
That's
and
true.
Also, you get immediately a feeling of what the public think. Remember that people can vote for the people they like and the people they don't like to do the worst challenges. So it'll be very interesting to see early on who gets the really obnoxious bush tucker trials.
Yeah.
And equally interesting, it'll be interesting to see how that changes as we get to know the real people, if that's what you want to call it, a little bit more. And I don't know how he will come out of this. Always a nervous moment to see who gets voted off first. So let's see what the public think about everything that he's done.
Indeed. It's going to go one way or the other, isn't it? He's either going to come out of actually, he's completely turned the public opinion of him around. I mean, not that everybody hates Matt Hancock, but some people see him as a bit geeky and the like. Or it'll be the last we ever see of Matt Hancock. Listen, Martin, always a pleasure. Thank you, Martin Roberts, TV presenter. He was on Series 16. Can we find out who won the series he was on? Series 16 of I'm a Celebrity, and of course he's a former talk radio presenter as well. Now, earlier we asked Conservative MP Henry Smith what he thinks of Matt Hancock going into the jungle. He didn't have much to say. However, let's take a look at how his local colleague thinks. This is Tory councillor Ian Holder reacting to the news.
If he's the sort of person you've got to look up to as an MP, it's a damn awful role model. I don't know how much they get paid for doing it, but it would appear that because the Prime Minister sort of blanked him when he was going for his validation from the faithful, that he said, OK, I might as well take the money. I just think he shouldn't have been our MP after 2009, after the Gina-gate thing.
Yeah, his critics can be less kind. That's all I'll say. That's Tory councillor Ian Holder, his view on Matt Hancock going into the jungle.